Hey guys, Jay here. Welcome to the final build video of my Dante cosplay from Devil May Cry 5. And yes, I'm saying build video, not video, because it's not the last video. The last one, I believe is going to be the last one, is going to be the sword unboxing, which will be the next video after this. So it's whatever. But today, the last build that I'm doing is the boots. So I'm going to show you how I did these straps for these boots and how to put them on. I will also link in the description these boots and these buckles. The boots will take about 2 to 3 weeks to get to you. And if you can get them before you do the straps, you can match up the vinyl better than I did. You can see they're not the same color, so the vinyl and the boots aren't matching. But nothing I can do about it now. I'm not going to worry about it. It looks fine. Honestly, it makes them stand out, so that's kind of cool. Makes it easier to see. Whatever. Anyway, these buckles are not the correct buckles, so if I can find some, I'll put a picture up with it altered. These are removable. I made them with a snap, so they're removable. You'll see that in the video. And then I can put different ones on. So I'm going to try to do that and see what happens. And then those will be linked in the description so long as I find good ones. And then, honestly, just follow the rest of the video and that should be good. However, there will not be a link for the vinyl itself that I made the straps with because I don't know what it is. And since it's not the right color anyway, it's probably not a good idea to link that for you guys. You guys can go find whatever you want. That would probably be a better idea if you can. Like I said, if you can go get these boots first and then go get the vinyl, you can match it up and make them look more correct, I guess. So just do that. Or you can kind of see this as just a darker brown, like a coffee brown. If you can go find that, it'll probably match just fine. But anyway, I should get on to the actual video to show you what I did. So to do the straps for the boots, I have cut out 2 strips right now. This is just for one strap. So I've already done one of them over here. But I'll tell you the measurements that this is. So this length is whatever measurement the vinyl was, which I think is, I don't even know. It goes to 36 there, 19 there, and then there was maybe about an inch on either side, somewhere around that. So you can do the math for that. But this is way longer than I need them to be. So I have multiples already made, and this is the full length of them put together. These I've already tested. They are way too big, which means that no matter what size vinyl you get, it should be long enough. So the width of whatever it already comes in on the bolt, that's already more than long enough. I believe it's supposed to be 60 inches or maybe 52 or something. I don't remember. But the point is, they don't need to be that long. So they're going to get cut down later. And so I'm showing you what I'm doing with those. And as you can see, I am clipping them together along this line here. I'm going to be doing this, which you can see is just folded over on both sides to make it the thickness or the width that I want. So I want it to be 1.25 inches because I have these buckles that are going to go on here. These aren't exactly the correct buckles. He has regular buckles. I had thought that since on his jacket he has those same kind of buckles, which I did in a different video. I thought they were the same on the boots, but they're not. They're actually they just look like belts. Anyway, yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm folding this up on one side, and then, so it's going to be hard to see on this camera, but I'm folding it up like this, and then clipping it down. This is just hemming. This is, if you hem pants, or if you hem a dress, or if you hem a shirt, anything, this is how you do it. You fold the thing back, you fold the edge back, and then you pin it down normally, but pinning vinyl just puts a hole in it because it's not a weave. I mean, there's a weave on the back here, but vinyl doesn't have a weave, it's just plastic. So it pokes a hole through it, and you don't want to have that showing, so these, they don't leave any marks. These sometimes leave like little indentation marks, but vinyl, since it's plastic, will easily just put itself back together and heal itself basically from those little tiny marks that aren't actually punctures. So that's why I do it with these. But anyway, I'm going down the whole line. And now I'm going to flip it over so I can do the other side. And now here's where you have to actually pay attention. I'm holding it up against one of the white lines on here, and that will tell me where to start at. And then this, it's hard to see on here, but this has little dots on it. It has a 9-dot grid inside each one of these, and that is your quarter mark, half-inch mark, and 3/4 mark. I want these to be 1.25 inches, so I go to the first dots here. So I'm going to do that, put it on the line, make sure it's there, and fold this end up so that it's right around that first set of 3 dots. And then I'm going to pin that, and now that is 1.25 inches, and which is big enough. I'll show you with the other ones. This is just another one that I've already sewn together, and you can see here that it's the right size to fit the buckle. So, and this looks really weird with this thinner buckle on this thicker 2-layer vinyl thing, but it's fine. And then eventually this will get put through here. This is the opposite direction, obviously, but because this isn't the end that I'm using, this is the end I'm using. But whatever, this is the same idea, but it'll go through like that, and then the thing, the tongue or the pin, whatever you want to call that, it goes by both names, will poke through and then poke through a hole there so that it belts together. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so now this is all done with that, and this is the hardest part, the most annoying thing. Well, first off, keeping it on this table is annoying enough as it is, but I have to fold this end over, but I can't just fold it over. It doesn't look good. Not only that, it's really thick, and I really don't want it to be that thick. So I'm going to move these ones down a little bit there, try and keep it normal, and then carefully I'm going to cut like this. There we go. You can see I cut down a whole bunch of it, and now it's wider because I cut a little less than the full width. But then I'm going to be very careful on the edge here and do cuts like that. And I don't need any of this scrap here, so I'm going to throw that away. And then now it looks like this. So this can get folded over like that. Put these back on here to hold it together. And bam, we have a folded over edge that isn't any thicker. Well, it's only thicker by like 1 layer. So instead of the 2 layers, and with the 2 layers folded over each other like that, it actually layered over double than what it needed to be. So I'm not gonna have it like that. It's way too big. And then now I need to put these together. So these need to go back to back. So this folded side needs to go to the other folded side of the other one. But I'm gonna start that with the 2 folded ends up against each other. I'm trying to line this up as best as possible. So this might be a little difficult to explain, but I hope you can see what I do here. I'm going to take one side off and put them together with the other. So there's 2 here, taking one off and replacing it so that it is that. So now they're both connected together. I'm just going to do that all the way down. So I'm moving on to sewing the whole thing together. Both of the layers are together, and I'm going on the end that is not folded over. So these are the opposite end of that side, so you can totally see that. And we're going to be, you notice I take one off there, and that's so I can get this under the sewing foot. But you'll notice these are not even at all. That's just because when I cut the ends off of these, this had that frayed end on either side of the vinyl. That's just how vinyl comes. Just cut that off. I didn't cut them the same exact length, but since I knew these are way longer than I needed them, that little inch or whatever didn't matter. So they kind of just came in different lengths here, and there's nothing I can do about that. Not to mention the other end where I folded the pieces over, I may not have gotten them exactly the same size, so it changes where this meets. So just know that, and I put it on the side where the lower end here is. You can see which side I'm on. That way, that's not hidden under it, so when I get back to this point, I'm not trying to figure out where I'm going. I can just see it right on top. So this is just a regular straight stitch going all the way through. So all I'm going to do is stick it under here. Then I have a reverse button here. You probably can't even tell, but right there is a reverse button. That'll make this thing go backwards. So I'm going to lock at first. So I'm going to go forward. So I'm going to go forward and then backward, forward, backward a few times, and then just go forward all the way through, and then you'll see when I get done. And then every once in a while now, I'm going to have to, I'm going to hold this up like this so that it stays straight. I'm going to have to keep taking these out every once in a while, and then when I get to them. So this is going to be really annoying, and it's going to be all staggered like this, but there's nothing I can do. Alright, so as you can see here, I actually have the boots now. So these are the kinds of boots that are supposed to be. They have this thing here. They're called harness boots. So this is what they look like without the straps. So these are the blank ones. And these will be linked in the description. So you can get those if you want them. They took, I want to say 3 weeks, 2 weeks, something like that to get here. So it's not that bad. So just know that ahead of time. These are actually the exact correct brown that I needed. The straps are not. If you want to use a darker brown, do that. Try to match the boots if you can, but it's totally fine. I'm over it. But as you can see, I have 2 of them on here now, and these are done for good, and I have to do 2 more. But I realized when doing it, showing you how to turn just one of these straps into this will take a lot longer than me just telling you what I did, because the majority of this is super easy and I can just tell you right away and call it good. So, again, it's just the straps and they just wrap around. I cut them, I figured out how far I needed to go. So first, let me start by saying there's 3 holes here, and I did that just because I like the way it looks. So that's whatever. You can do whatever you want there. You can have just 1 to be whatever goes into the thing. You can do whatever you want. But I put 3 because I liked that, and I think he has 3. I don't remember. I'm not going to go look or count. So anyway, these are all 1 inch apart. So you start at the edge, you go 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, and that makes it easy for me. And then from there, I figure out where about this needs to be, and that was a pain in the butt. That's why I'm not showing you this, because it's a jumbled mess of stuff, and it's too hard to explain. So I do it with this thing just sitting up against it like this, just on the outside like that. And then I fumble this over and figure out about where it needs to go. And it's a pain in the butt. So this bottom one here, as you can see, it's wrapping around. So it wraps around like this. So it would be like a letter Z. So when this is the right foot, so when it's sitting down this way with the buckles facing up, so it would wrap from the back here. So this stays here. It would wrap around the back, go down, then go back up, and then come this way. So it crosses on this side, like this. So you can see it's crossed now. All I did was I looked at a picture of Dante and just copied the best I could and then figured out what worked. So that is how I did how far I needed it to be. That's how I knew how long they needed to be. And they're each going to be separate. They're not going to be the exact same length, because one is at the smaller area of the ankle calf area and one is at the bigger calf area. So they're going to be different lengths. So figure that out on your own shoes and your own boots, and work on that. Do not do it to the size of your legs. That'd be stupid. Do it to the boots so they fit on the boots. Also, you may notice this is pretty stiff. There's stuff inside here. I rolled up some foam to make like a fake leg to put inside there, so this stayed up. When they're not like that, they do this. So it's a lot easier to have a form in there when you're working around it. So anyway, that's that one. And then I made a little thing here. But to put this together, normally you would sew this across. This is really thick. If you have thinner pleather, or if you have thinner layers, you make this just all around thinner, you can do that, sew it together. But it was a pain in the butt to sew through, and it was going to take me hours. So I decided, nah, not happening. So what I did was I put a snap in here. So because this is where I cut it open, I cut it off so that the extra length, like, there's a whole bunch of this stuff taken off of here, but like extra length taken off, this is now opened. So I was able to stuff down in there the top and the bottom to a snap set. So like these type of things. So this is inside here, and then the other side is inside there, and you can barely see it through the hole here, but that hole is because I just put a hole through the whole thing, you know. So I had to put a hole through it to make that work. But yeah, so that's that, and that's how I close it. It's just easier this way. Plus, it gives it kind of a bulkier look, which I kind of like. And then, obviously, I have the hole for putting this in there, and I used the same thing here that I used on my jacket to poke the holes through. That's what it's for. It's a leather punch. It's literally for that. And then I did it 2 times next to each other where they're overlapping a little bit, so that this thing fits in there very good, because it has this little bit of extra on it. So it's probably hard to see that, but there's a bit of extra there. So there's some extra thickness that needs to be accounted for when you make the hole. So that's that. And then once that's all put together, I made this little one here out of more pleather. I just took a little strip of it and cut some out and sewed it up. And I have another one somewhere. I have the rest of it. Whatever, I'll find it later. But I wrapped it around, made sure where it was, took it back off, then sewed it together, and it's just loose on here. So it doesn't really have to, it doesn't have a big function, and when it's put together, it's not going to be a big deal. So it's going to be put together like that, and then this goes through here, and it's like that. And it just stays like that, and it's not going anywhere because it's tight enough now. So yeah, that's that. It's going to be really hard to show you how to do this top one here, how to wrap it around. But it does go through one of these loops. He does have both of these loops on here. So it goes through one of the loops on the inner side. So this would be like the side that's inside of your leg. This would be the outside of your leg. You're just going to have to figure that out on your own. But yeah, you can see here how it's overlapped and all that kind of stuff. So that's all I did to finish these up. And I didn't do anything to the boots themselves. Like, I didn't alter the actual boots themselves. So that makes life a little easier. Less stuff I got to worry about doing. But yeah, that's really about it. I still have the other straps here to mess with. This one I've already started. I put the holes in there, and I was able to cut it down. So this one is the top one for the other side. And then I have to do the same thing with this one and match this one up to it. But honestly, that's super easy. All I'm doing is I match the holes up where the end is. So it's like matching up like that. And then I lightly use the hole punch through the hole that's already there, so I can mark where on the other one I need to put the holes, and then I take it back off, and now I have the holes marked. And it's nice and easy. I don't have to do any drawing on it or anything, and then I can just go back into it and do them. Super easy. Alright, so that's the end of the video, and I also didn't explain it in the beginning, but I probably shouldn't have to, but you never know. There are some people that need this. Just make it twice. to do the other boot. Like, I've actually had somebody once with my Jason Voorhees mask back here. They said to make the one with the cut in it, just cut the mask. Like, they wanted me to make a whole video to show you how to do that, but then make it with the cut in it. Like when he gets, I think it was an axe or something, and it splits the mask. Just split the mask. You don't need to ask for a separate video. Cut the mask. How hard is that? People really think that. People really don't understand that I don't need to make a video for that. So telling people to do this twice is probably needed for some of the people watching this. I don't know. just know that. Just make it twice and there you go. I don't know. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. So if you like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.